Right, and I'm back again. I've put the light on this time so you might be able to see me a bit better, so unlucky for you. Straight back in with another video. 101st Airborne, Normandy, 1944 impression. So, off the bat it looks like At the Front or Soldier of Fortune webbing. Again, one of those awful, stupid, whatever they want to call them, paratrooper utility leg strap. Which, it just wasn't a thing that existed. The sling's alright. It's it's got the correct horseshoe shaped buckle. And the parachute first aid packet is at least on the suspenders. It doesn't look that great, but it's in the right place at least. Okay. Well, let's hit play and see what we get. Fingers crossed.
So this is the gear layout for my 101st Airborne 502nd Parachute Infantry Regiment enlisted man impression.
Okay, so he's 502.
I'm missing, but here are all the main bits. Got the M42 trousers and jump jacket with the reinforced canvas knee pads and elbow pads.
Why do they look so vastly different in colour? That's quite a difference in shade between that one and that one. Okay, and I think that's a hash mark on the helmet as well, so for Normandy that's incorrect.
With the reinforced canvas knee pads and elbow pads, pockets. This is At the Front brand. This is a reproduction.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's
So again, people are putting hash marks on things for Normandy that shouldn't be there. The helmet net, the knots are quite small. The hole's quite far apart, I think so. Yeah, maybe. But it's not too bad. But he's 502. Where's the scrim? 502 is always scrim. It's quite scrim heavy.
Post-war M1 helmet.
That's alright. I mean, get rid of the hash mark, put the scrim on there. You've got a decent looking helmet, even if it is swivel bail. It's a starting point.
At the front, Corcoran jump boots.
Again, far too clean. Should be, if this is Normandy, they ain't gonna like that.
Unknown reproduction enlisted man trouser belt. Got my gear layout here. Explain to you everything. This is a unknown, likely reproduction M1936 pistol belt. I'm not sure what brand it is. It's pretty good. I got it at a gun show. Got an M1924 Mandolin first aid.
I'm just cringing at the whole Mandolin thing. Yeah, I mean, stuff like Carlisle pouches, pistol belts, the originals are so cheap, there's almost no point in getting reproductions.
Kit right there. M1942 canteen cover, 1945 original surplus canteen. Mandolin M1910 entrenching tool.
In fairness, that doesn't look too bad.
I believe this is an At the Front cover. It's a transitional one, as you can see by this little green webbing.
Yeah.
This little green texture down here. Fits pretty good actually. I could work out the wrinkles a little bit, but
no, in fairness, the cover looks really good.
Fits pretty good so far. They did use a little bit of transitional equipment in Normandy. I had these for a while, 2 years. These, or maybe a year and a half or so.
Yeah, they don't look great.
Mandolin, the M1.
There we go. What was he going to call them?
Grand M1A1 carbine rigger pouches.
M1A1 carbine rigger pouches. No, they're just a rigger pouch, but they're made completely. The seam shouldn't be here. It's just that's awful. I mean, there is a seam on the side, but it doesn't look like that. So I'm just flat. I don't have the flat on my desk. I'm just trying to give it some shape. So pop it open. And I've got to show the right camera, haven't I? So the side, it's you can't see the stupid. Oh, there we go. So it folds in on itself, and that's sort of a bit bulgy, and you've got this big seam at the bottom, and inside you've got as the airborne collector guy says, you know, the crappier they look, the more authentic they look. You've got these giant big, you know, flaps where it's all sewn together, and all the reproductions look so light. You know, these were made of a dark material, the sort of things you find in like truck canvas covers, and you know, the sort of things you find on the roofs and things. It's that sort of colour and material. This is it's just too light.
They hold 4 M1 Garand magazines.
They do.
For my G&G M1 Garand. This is a unknown dated. I'm not sure when it's dated because there's no markings on it. M1 Garand bayonet.
Yeah, nice.
It's wartime made. The blade is really nice. Just a spear point. It's nice. It's not really nice. The steel. It's a 10-inch. It's later war made. Suspenders are Mandolin.
They're not going to hold up to anything then.
I've had them taped and measured to my waistline and to where I like it. And this is a Mandolin.
Yeah, that's disgusting. The colour, it's like Casper the Ghost. Jesus, that's wow. That is what can only be described as cheap shit. Yeah. And this is Man the Line, who I ordered a lot of stuff from, luckily from eBay. Then I heard all the reviews about, you know, they never send things, they don't ship things, they cock up the orders. And sure enough, the box never turned up. So I filed a complaint with eBay and PayPal, and I got my money back. And then he blocked me on eBay. Go figure. He blocked me because he didn't send my stuff. You know, blessing in disguise, maybe.
M1936 musette bag, non-transitional, khaki.
Non-transitional. it's just a musette bag.
I've just stuffed some bunch of stuff in here to make it look like somewhat cool. Just stuff it a little bit more. You don't want to run around with, again, as I emphasize, empty bags, empty pouches. The rest of the gear, we got a Mandolin scabbard, M8 leather scabbard for your M3 trench in. Sorry, my reproduction. I forgot what brand this is. Trench knife, M3 trench knife. I've dubbed the handle.
You see, it's Mandolin. It's flimsy. It's cheap. The metal work's coming apart. This, you know, this piece is just coming up. Yeah, it's just rubbish. Don't buy from Mandolin, guys. It's just cheap crap. Buy right, buy once. If you have to spread it out over a period of months, years to get everything, do that rather than buying crap, wasting money and having to replace it later. You still spend the same money, but you just save because you're not buying this shit.
I forgot to mention that in my Operation Market Garden video. The blade, I've never resharpened this thing. It's always stayed sharp. I've opened so many things with this knife. I've never had to resharpen the blade yet. And it's held up for the last 2 years.
Again, another one of these, why am I pointing on my hand? You can't really see. Another one of these crappy, stupid utility straps or whatever nonsensical shit they want to make up to sell this crap. Should be a white cot strap off of the cots, nothing else, unless you're going to use boot lace or string or just something period correct. But these paratrooper utility straps,
again, this leg strap
nonsense.
Will eventually go. It's from USMC 782 lower haversack I stole from one of my old impressions. Leg tie, again, this also has to be dubbed. Weapons. Oh, before I get to that, the last item is, I got this with some HPTs a while back. I got a jacket, a pair of trousers, and these jump gloves, or you can also use them for a tanker impression.
Yeah, at least they're worn in and they're not fresh, brand new, sparkly, shiny fairy gloves out of a, you know, out of a cheap company. At least they look worn in and used. And even wearing in a pair of cheaper gloves just makes them look so much nicer.
They are weathered, as you can see, because I actually use them to work on cars.
Perfect. What is it? Because I said in the other video, use them, do the gardening in them, go dig a hole, fix the car, do the gardening, cut the grass. Just use them, wear them.
And the leather's holding up really well. These, I have another set from Man the Line. It's a pile of crap compared to this.
Well, of course, yes. You buy from Man the Line, it's going to be crap.
These gloves are very durable. Not good for cold weather. I've tried using it in cold weather.
Yeah.
When I was visiting San Francisco, but overall very good. Does the job. And now it just looks 10 times cooler than when I first got it. I don't know what brand they are.
Yeah, they do look good.
They're really good. Let's say soft leather. And yes, you're probably wondering, what are your weapons?
Not really.
We got the G&G M1 Garand over here. And right next to it, we got a King Arms M1A1 Carbine. This one I got in a trade for my Matrix M19.
So, it's got the bayonet lug on it, so that's incorrect. You know, that's post-war. Rear sight is incorrect for Normandy.
Carbine. This one I got in a trade for my Matrix M1918 BAR. The guy who owned it before me did a nice like weathering and wood job on it. I personally think it looks nice. I'm going to do the full World War II conversion by removing the bayonet lug, putting the correct World War II sights.
Good.
And leaving 2 holes in the gas port, so filling up these 2 holes right here and then blending everything back in.
It looks like it's been recently sanded. It needs to be a lot darker, and you know, it looks like somebody sanded it recently and it's just been left.
Then it'll look like a World War II correct M1A1 carbine.
No, you're right, it doesn't.
As it should. The M1, well, I've been dying to use this thing. So if the weather is good this weekend, I'm gonna try to take it out for airsoft. But that's pretty much the gear and weapons layout for this impression.
Oh.
Hey everyone.
Oh, now it's going to take a dramatic downward spiraling turn, isn't it? What do we see? A white t-shirt. So, I haven't seen a pistol, which is fantastic. Will one appear? If not, we're either going to see a pistol or we're going to get a Band of Brothers quote. I'm going to go with a Band of Brothers quote.
John right away here again, bringing you another video. We're coming live from my kitchen. Half my family's away on some business on the Big Island, so me and my brother have the house to ourselves, and I just thought I'd make this video of a Normandy impression I'm putting together just for fun, for airsoft, and for historical reasons, and because I missed my old one. Because I did have actually did have a Normandy 101st Airborne impression that I sold to a friend. And I scored this set off eBay, and I've had the gear laying around, and I just thought I'd throw everything together. So I'm going to put my jacket on.
So he's going to put his jacket on,
And
but
the reason why I'm doing this is
no
that you
shirt.
can see everything I'm wearing from the very basic, and I'll put my gear on and you can see everything else from that point. I am missing a few items.
Waffle. What's he trying to say? He's basically just saying, I'm going to put my clothes on, but made that into about 10 sentences.
In this impression, I'm working on getting them like a wool shirt.
Yes, buy a wool shirt, burn the white t-shirt.
As far as my research goes, there are some GIs that wore white t-shirt.
As far as your research goes, there are some GIs that wore a white t-shirt. Okay, cool. No, I'm not going to bite. I'm not even going to elaborate further. Do not wear a white t-shirt. Wear a vest, a light OD coloured vest, a singlet, whatever you want to call it. You know, pale green. It's that colour. I can't. Bloody mine's gone blank now. All this talk about t-shirts. Wear that. Wear a shirt.
Others were given wool shirts. Some were also had a combination of the two.
Oh no! If you see something that looks like a white t-shirt, it is the thermal what do they call it? Like a long johns, but for your top, like a thermal long sleeve t-shirt. And it wasn't white; it was in sort of a porridge colour material. But of course, in black and white photographs, it's easily mistaken for a white t-shirt. The only white t-shirts worn usually were the ones for a PT and things. And then you see those awful Currahee ones that they show in Bandwagon of Brothels and Soldier of Fortune catalogues, and all the other ones that the reenactors and the promenaders like to wear. Just get as far away from white t-shirts if you want to be taken seriously as you can.
GIs in particular were not issued white t-shirts. They actually they were purchased from like sewing, not sewing shops, but like shops in England and all that. So they would jump out with a white t-shirt.
Stop talking, please. They would buy them from shops in England and jump with them. No, just look at the pictures of the guys in Normandy and getting kitted up in the UK. Out of 1,000 pictures, you might see somebody that looks like they could possibly might be wearing a white t-shirt, and it probably even isn't a white t-shirt. Just lose it.
That's how we got them. The army did not provide GIs with white t-shirts.
Is he trying to convince us that white t-shirts should be worn? Because this is going on a bit long now.
Somehow found them from civilians or whatnot. But anyway, that out of the way, I'm going to put everything on. This one's a little different because it's closer to my size. The last one I had was a little oversized. As you can see, it performs quite snug to my body. I'll add pictures in the end of this video of my old impression. And one cool thing I like, one reason why I got shoulder pockets on my jacket.
Right.
My old one didn't have these. So again, I'll give you the information on what is what, like what brand this is, this jacket and trousers, boots, everything is, as we move on through the video. You get to hear everything.
So unless you're doing 506, do not add pockets to your sleeves.
And I don't know how correct this is, but I also have
Oh, Jesus Christ.
extra pockets added to the buttocks area of the jacket, the rear of the jacket. I don't know how correct this is, but I thought that to be kind of cool.
Yeah, really cool.
So, again, a few small nuances, few items that are missing, but I got the main bit so far.
The main bit's not including what you need to wear like a shirt.
And again, this video takes too long, just fast forward it. I don't have a mirror, so I'm just doing everything all by feel pretty much. It fits me. It was cheap. It was a better part of 2 years ago. Okay, so in the initial jump,
Oh no.
some paratroopers were given these. These are jump gloves. I don't know what brands mine.
No, right, okay. Some paratroopers were given these. Now, all paratroopers prior to Normandy would have had a pair of leather gloves. They're not paratrooper gloves. They're not Airborne Forces Special Edition leather gloves. They are leather gloves. Army Air Corps, or cavalry gloves. And weirdly, all of the ones, all these companies like Soldier of Fortune at the front, What Price Glory, Epic, they all sell the incorrect gloves. All of them are the wrong type. I've never understood why. None of them sell the correct type. The correct type has a slit up, up, sort of there. And they have like a fold over on the very bottom of them. I think Eastman, who make the leather jackets, make a reproduction of them. The only place there's reproductions of them, and unfortunately they're about 150 or 180 pound a pair. So this is for a pair of gloves, and they don't make toast. They don't go shopping for you. They just go on your hands. So who the hell is going to buy a pair of gloves for 180 quid? So I guess that's why all these other companies are making them in this wrong type, because everybody else does and people are buying them. Doesn't make them any more correct.
But as you can see, they're weathered a little bit because I actually use them to work on cars.
Good. 2 in a row. 2 in a row. Wow. People are actually using their gloves. Crazy. Good.
For a brief period of time. And this actually holds up better than my man line set.
he must know the other guy. Well, of course they hold up better than a man line set. Man line set are like dog shit. But you might as well just paint your hands, you know. Paint them yellow. That'll do. That'll be an improvement to man the line kit.
That's what I'm using to work on the cars now. For the sake of this video, I'll just put them on and I'll take them right off right after. Most of the paratroopers just ditched these after the jump. But they kept them in their pockets stowed away. So the uniform itself, the jacket and trousers, these are at the front brand. It's got the 101st leg ties, which are in khaki. 82nd is gray, I think. So reinforced versions with the reinforced elbows, knee pads, and pockets down here. Because in the first pattern, M42, used in Sicily and Italy, these areas would tear away over time, so to speak. They would get fatigued very easily, and in 1944, or during Normandy, the army reinforced them with these canvas reinforcements.
Okay, he sort of gets it. I don't know whether he's concentrating too much on doing poppers up and his brain isn't functioning into telling why the riggers did them. I mentioned in first pattern, when it's not a pattern. They just rigger modified them.
They were this really gray, greenish kind of color. So that's what it would look like during the jump. It's Normandy. They also used them in Holland, the same thing.
Well, very, very few used them in Holland. The M43s were around by then.
They would just ditch it after the landing. As you can see, it's already trying to come out of my jacket.
Can't get on with it.
See what's come out. But that's pretty much what it would look like. Just my hands are not wide enough. So let me take these off because they're actually getting in the way. I only use them for airsoft because I don't want to get shot in the hands, fingers. It hurts like a bastard when you get shot in the fingers and hands.
Yep. Oh, so much doing up and putting on things.
Let me put the gear on. This is probably something you want to see. And I'll go through each gear item, where I got it, so on, so on. Just figure out how this darn thing goes on. Again, I'm doing this all by feel, looking at the reflection in the television right next to me. So if again if this takes too long, just go ahead and fast forward.
Musette is horrible.
Everything right. I'm portraying it correctly.
Colour of it. It matches the kitchen cabinets.
There's no bar here involved.
Yeesh. Sorry, man, the line, but your stuff really is shit. My God.
Kind of a last minute observation, but this kind of reminds me of firefighting gear, if you know what I mean.
No.
Okay, so that is the...
Okay, so the front straps on his suspenders are done up incorrectly. The first strap, the strap that's nearest the buckle, goes on the belt. The other strap stays loose and goes under your armpit and attaches onto the D-ring on the bottom of the musette bag. They both do not go on the pistol belt. The rigger pouches just now look absolutely shit. They look like there's nothing in them. They look deflated. The T-handles, you know, on the belt.
Gear, just make sure I've got nothing's hanging up on anything like that.
Water bottles near the back, that's good.
Oh, another item missing here is the M2 Switchblade. Of course, Switchblades are illegal. They make them in assist openers, but there should be a pocket here.
Again, this is familiarity with using your kit, your weapons, your webbing. I mean, these guys trained for a year and a half, 2 years with this stuff. They would grab it, they'd put it on, they know where everything is. You don't have to look. You open a pocket, you pull it out. You don't need to look. You're so used to using all your kit. Everything is familiar to you. So you need to have that familiarity. That's not even a word, is it? But you know what I'm saying. With what you're doing. So when somebody says to you, "Oh, have you got a so and so?" You're not going to start going, "Oh yeah, how do I undo? Where is it? Yeah." You should go, "Oh yeah, I've got one here." And the same with your weapon. If you can't function and move it and drill with it as you should do, it just looks daft. You need to be familiar with everything you're using, holding, and wearing.
Right here, there's an additional pocket to keep that switchblade, and they make them in assist openers from at the front. They would use, or they call it the gravity knife. It would be stored in.
It's not a gravity knife. How could it be gravity knife? You push a button and the blade pops out. That's not gravity. It's a spring.
This pocket here. So if you get caught in a tree or something like that, you don't have access to your knife on your leg or on your belt. So open that up, pull the blade out, and
good.
You can cut your risers. Well ahead of its time. That was 75 years ago, and it's still well ahead of its time. That's why these are very timeless, these old uniforms. Okay, take out the slack of anything that's hanging up. And let me put on the helmet. So again, starting with the belt, this is a belt I got at a gun show. I don't know what brand it is, thick material. And magazines. With each, I could probably put
4. You can get 5 M1 Carbine mags.
Clips. I'll probably get those clips and try those out.
Yeah, cheap ass pouches. Even the up front ones aren't that great, as it shows.
Here we got.
Just look
I got
awful.
this at a gun show most recently. This is a 10-inch M1 Garand.
Yeah, we know. We saw it in the other bit.
10-inch scabbard. Bayonet is really. Just if you can get it out. The blade is in really nice condition.
We know.
Right here, this is a man-aligned recoil. It's okay.
No. I wouldn't go as far as it's okay. There's no reason to buy reproduction first aid or Carlisle pouches.
A reproduction man-aligned.
Turn the spade round. If you look at the pictures closely, the spades are usually pointing outwards. They put them in the covers, or lots of guys put them in the covers the other way around, so that the T handle part sticks away from the body and not bent in towards your body, so it keeps whacking you in the knees, the back of the legs. It's such a simple thing to do.
M1910 tool, reproduction, transitional M1910 cover.
Yeah.
This is my man-aligned one that I got. So the one on my warback impression is an original E2, M1936 suspenders, man-aligned, parachuter's first aid kit.
Yeah, it's cheap.
It says a tourniquet, bandage, suspenders. I don't like it on my helmet.
Good, because it shouldn't be on your helmet. This is not Market Garden, this is Normandy.
I don't care for it on the belt either. Let's see what else. Boots. These are at the front, reproduction boots. They fit pretty well. These are size 9. See, the jump knife is a reproduction jump knife. And the thing about this, 100 times better than what it was when I first got it. Yet, it's sharp. I mean,
there's a lot of waffle here.
Been used so many times.
We said all this in the first bit.
This is my, it's the original post-war shell. OD3 khaki net, helmet net. correct chin strap, liner strap. The liner, I think it is post-war, but it looks like someone.
Yeah, but it's painted with a hash mark, so
I'm not too
no
smart when it
scrim.
comes down to numbers. That's it, and the chin straps.
Is this actually going anywhere, or is he going to talk
Eventually I'll get
about everything
different
over and
helmets,
over
but for
again?
now this
Oh,
one,
we're getting
or,
waving a rifle
you know,
around.
piece to have in your collection if you're a ww2 reenactor or collector or airsofter. I've had 2 M1 brands previous to this, the A&K and before that ICS. While they're all right and they're good in their own remark, I personally prefer the G&G. It's worth the investment. It's the most expensive one of the 3, but you're gonna pay for its quality. And I'm sure its performance is second to none. Everything is correct on this rifle. And yes, you're probably gonna ask me the $1 million question, but does a bayonet fit over this thing?
Who cares?
We're about to find out. So, the answer to that question, yes it does. And it fits on like a glove. Look how cool that is.
Yeah.
That's an original bayonet too, by the way. Yeah.
We did say. Yeah, this isn't going anywhere, is it? This is just recovering the same stuff, and
got some King Arms M1 England.
yeah, which you shouldn't have.
Front sling mount.
Because you're an enlisted man, unless you're something special,
So that pretty much wraps.
you wouldn't have it. No, this is just posing around. Jesus, what the hell? How's he doing? Oh my god, what on earth? Okay, right, weird. Right, stop. So some weird nonsensical things he told us about that, you know, is just fabricated bullshit. Lots and lots of cheap shit from around the line which could be upgraded to decent things. He obviously uses the Carbine for airsoft. Fine, you know, airsoft there's no authenticity needed. You could wear anything you like, nobody's going to question you. But you say you're doing an airborne Normandy impression. Yes, it is, vaguely. There's just no real detail. You've got silly things like hash marks on helmets, no rubberized gas mask bag. It'll turn it the other way. You'll find it much easier to run around with it facing the other way. Musette bag is an appalling colour. It's just vile. Cheap M3, but you know, if it's only for airsoft, then great. If you're going to do anything else with it, well, you just start from scratch. I assume that the excuse me. Sorry, I assume that the M42s aren't CC2'd, because again, this is not living history. And I have no idea what that nonsense at the end was, running around with the pistol and whatever the hell that noise was. It was crazy. Yeah, the last video was much more entertaining. Right, I'm signing off. I don't know if I'll do another one. I'll see what the next one's called, and if it sounds like rubbish, I'm going to bed. If it sounds good, I'll make another video. Okay, until next time. Laters.